Hey, it's Rahul here. Let's talk about one of the most ignored pieces of communication in any business, the survey email. Now, you know the one. We value your feedback. Please fill out this short survey. One of those. Now, you hit delete, your customer hits delete, everyone hits delete in those emails. Why? Because most survey emails, they feel like they were written by a robot on its lunch break. Now today I'm going to show you why that happens and how to fix it, and 3 rules I follow when writing feedback emails that actually get replies. Now let's start with the original one. So here's the real email from one of my favorite gyms, Snap Fitness, an amazing gym. So we're not criticizing anything. We're just sort of dissecting the email that was sent. So for education purposes only, this is my favorite gym. That's why I go there. So here's the real email that I got from Snap Fitness in my area. As you can see, they're like, "Thank you for visiting. We recently sent you an invitation. How likely are you to recommend?" Now, look, technically it's polite, it's safe, and it ticks a box, right? Ticks a box. But it also makes you feel nothing. There's no hook, no energy, no reason to apply. It's like a waiter asking, how was everything? While walking towards your table, and can I get you some more water? That's the kind of vibe you get from this email, and it's quite docile, so that's why you don't want to respond to it, and that's why it gets deleted. But we're going to use it for the education purpose. So this kind of email gets ignored because it's passive. It sounds like a template, and it doesn't meet the customer where they are, and that's important. So when someone sees that email, they're not thinking about your brand. They're thinking about dinner. They're thinking about work. They're thinking about Netflix. So unless you grab attention fast, you are gone. Now, here's how I rewrote this email, and I'll share that with you in a second, and you'll see the difference. Now, here's the email that I wrote. So it's quite short. I have, shredded that email quite a bit. So you can see as Rahul, was Snap Fitness Box Hill a hit or miss? So it captures the attention. Do we impress you? Do we bore you? Do we make you want to lapse or run away? Say it like it is. We can take it. And tell us in 30 seconds. So that's the kind of CTA we want, right? Now, this version works because it sounds human. It's punchy, it's clear, and a little playful. It invites honesty, not compliance. That's important. And as I was talking about the CTA, not click here or submit your thoughts. Please, please, please don't use those click here, submit, register, those kind of CTAs. Those are not CTAs, right? You can use the CTA like this. Just tell us in 30 seconds. So this is very specific. With this, the customer knows that they want something from me, and it's only going to take 30 seconds, right? It feels like a small ask, which makes people more likely to do it. Now, let's talk timing for a second. The best time to send a feedback email is immediately after the experience, not 2 days later. Not buried in the monthly newsletter. Strike while the memory is fresh. If you really value feedback, that's what you would do while the emotion is still there. Now, let me wrap 3 simple rules that I follow for writing great survey emails. Okay, there are 3 different rules, right? And they're very simple rules, and simplicity is very difficult. It's the complicating things that's very easy. So rule number 1, you gotta make it human. Gotta make it human. Sound like you're asking a real human being, maybe your partner, about a feedback. How would you ask? So ditch the corporate voice, write like you talk. Okay, so make it human. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is create contrast. Now, set up the question, was it amazing? Just okay? Tell us what you missed, right? Because you got to give them an idea about what kind of feedback you're after. And shouldn't be in the numbers, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think? That's not the real feedback. You want them to know what they actually felt when they were inside the gym, hitting those weights, were they sweating, were they having that pump? That's the kind of feedback you want. You don't want feedback in numbers, right? That's rule number 2, create the contrast. And rule number 3 is keep the ask light. Keep the ask light. No long forms, no complicated buttons. Make it easy as replying to a text. You want feedback, don't make it very complicated, right? So there are 3 rules I'll repeat. Rule number 1 is make it human. Rule number 2, create contrast. And rule number 3, keep the ask light. So the next time you're asking for feedback, don't just ask for it, earn it. Thanks for watching. Follow me for more advice. Catch you next time.